The webinar is all about administration from the web, and this is the agenda. We will have a look what we can do from the ARIS repository, how we can merge content from one database to the other, how we can consolidate objects within the same database. We will see the attribute wizard, which is now available on service release from service release 26, and how we can update and mask attributes on items, groups, models, on objects from ARIS Connect. As well as now there is this possibility that we can check the versions and some details regarding versioning on models when we are on the ARIS repository and we have the right privileges. And then we will go to the admin tab to see how we can manage the methods if we want to do any updates, any new additions, anything, how can we can create a new filter, how we can update existing filters, and so on. We will also touch upon content type, which is, again, this gives us some additional functionality of how we want to arrange, let's say, the ARIS Connect portal, ARIS Connect portal, as well as how we can activate the satellite modeling, which is a functionality that gives some easy, let's say, way from the modelers to add content into their models. Then we will go to see how I can manage the database, how I can create new, backup, restore, rename, copy, reorganize. Some things that we are very familiar of, these things only be available in Architect, but now they are in as a web client as well. Then how we can assign accesses on database level, how we can manage languages, font formats, how we can check the statistics. And now it's a bit more intuitive on the web. There are some as well dashboards that we will see that make the information a bit more nice. And also how we can set up the default filter. Then we will navigate to the evaluations tab, where we can find reports and semantic checks, and we can see how we can manage this. And as well, in the end, last topic, but very exciting, it's coming on service list 26. It is the script editor, and this gives us the opportunity to edit, create, update, debug reports from the web client. So I will stop sharing, and I will go directly into ARIS. So the presentation today is only based on demo of all these things that I have just mentioned. So let me share my ARIS, which should be the screen. And now I hope you can see the screen as well. So for this demonstration, I am using service release 26. And yes, we will start with the ARIS repository. So the way, we know I need, obviously, the Connect Designer license for this. And for whatever I will present now, I also need some admin function privileges, so I can do merge everything, consolidations, and so on. So it is not that everything is available to the users. These tabs here are also related to function privileges. So the first topic is the merge. Merge is moving content from one database to the other. So now you can see that selecting one database, I can also select the database filter I want to log in. And there is a default. In this case, it is the same default, but it can be that it is published with a different filter, but I just want entire method, let's say, to do my merge. So I can select it from here. And this is now the one that it is already, the default that is already pre-selected. And this is my target database for this scenario. So I will select also here the entire method. I will click OK. And then I will go to find a model or a group that I would like to merge in. For the purpose of this exercise, let me say that I will merge the whole group. It is the same with whatever item I will select. So I select the group and I click on this icon here, merge. And with this, I activate the merge wizard, which you might be familiar with it from ARIS Architect. In this case, the first step is that I have to select the target database. It is not drag and drop at the web. So I have to select that this is a target database. And then I go to select the options I need for this merge. There is no change here. And again, you might notice this I. So if I have any problem, any questions, I can just click on this I and I can have some more additional information here. And again, here within the selection include border items, everything as per the merge options. Conflict resolution, again, the same as we know it, what it happens to models, objects, connections, font formats, how the group management works in case of a conflict, and so on. And of course, log file in case I want to have one. Let's go for it and let's see how it comes. I want, yes, let me go for that. I see that the merge is in progress, and then I should be having here a file when this is done with all the information that I will check. Here it is. It popped up, I think it is under, no, under the downloads, which is, here it is, open file. Again, the same file here opens, and I can take some more information regarding the merge that happened. So this is one thing then. I just select the source, and then I activate the wizard from this tab. The next thing I can do is, let's cover the edit attributes, which is the attribute wizard that I can update this one attribute or more than one, but I can update the value of attributes on a list of items. And this is groups, models, or objects as well. For this scenario, let me go to this database and let me go to processes. As a scenario, I will use the person responsible of the processes. Let's say that a user is now has changed, so I need to replace a user. I am selecting the folder where I want to start the find. You can see that it is selected here as well. I will start the search. I will look for models of type PPC for this example, and I can select it. And I want, for example, my person responsible, when the person responsible is, and I can here again select of various options. So I want users. Sorry, I want models that this of type EPC, that this attribute is maintained. I will hit on find. You can see here that I take, let's say, my results. Maybe I will activate, maybe I will deactivate this, and I will activate the person responsible, so I can check the results. And I can also sort this out. And you see that I have, let's say, this user. Again, I could have added the specific name on the search, so I only take the items, models, EPCs with a specific user. But as well, I can only as well select them from here. And then I go to edit attributes, person responsible. Here again, you can see the drop down. I can specify a new value that will override whatever it is there. If it is empty, if I have selected a model, it will also give the new value, or I can delete an existing value and leave it empty. So let's go that I have here a new user. I will use myself. I just click on apply, confirm. And then you will see that this is already available here. So I have managed to update these attributes in all these models with this edit wizard. I could have done the same with groups, but the groups doesn't work from here, and models as well. So from wherever I can select more than one of the same item, I can again do the same. For example, I can come here, edit attributes, and I have the same wizard to do it. The same for models, the same for objects. I don't have to be on the results of the search. Whenever I can select more than one items that I want to include in this change, I can do it. So the next one is versioning info. And for this, I will go to my main group and I will see that I have a model here. I will just select it and I will activate the details diagram. And you see that there is an additional tab called versions that I can navigate into. And here I can see a link, an active link to version 2 of this model. And I have this information that this was part of the change list 70. This was a description of the versioning. In this case, it was manual. The same would happen if it was by any APG workflow that would update this. And then the date and the user that created this version. And I can come here and I can open the model. You will notice that it has a lock here. So I can only view, I cannot do any changes. But with this click, it's easy to navigate and to, check the changes that, how it was, better to say, this model at this version. Okay, so that was the versioning information. And of course, versioning can happen from this tab as well. And I can, again, it's the same. Actually, let me do this demo again. While this will happen, I will have here, I should be having a different item, a new item in this list of versions. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's give this few seconds. And the next, here it is. Version 3, the description I gave and the timestamp of the time as well as the user. And in this environment, I am a system user. So all this information that are provided related to the version and access to this version 2. The next item is about consolidating objects. From whatever I'm describing now, only the edit attributes wizard is the new coming in service release 26. Everything else has been there for a while, maybe from 24, some of them, but I think consolidation is even earlier, if I'm not mistaken. So again, for this example, maybe I will navigate, I will go to via the search, which is a bit maybe more straightforward. I will look for objects. I can delete here the whatever I have selected before, and I will go for application system type, and I will do a find. I have also included the subgroups by clicking on this tick box here. So I can close this. I can select any of 2 objects that I would like to consolidate. Here it's a bit random, this example, so I will just go for these 2, just to activate the consolidation wizard. So with at least some selection, this is getting activated. I can select it, and here it is. I can add more objects, and I have to select what is the master. So let's say that I'm doing this, I'm verifying that this is the master. I use this tab to lock it, let's say as a master, and then you can see that this has been activated. Before I go to this one, there are some more options that I might want to consider in the consolidation about the attributes, the relationships, and so on. So you can activate it from this list here, and then I'm good to apply and to consolidate these 2 objects or more. Again, the same here, I can select all of a group from here, or I can, limit my search to only find exactly what I want by name, by any kind of search I want to use. Or since I can also select objects from this tab, if I am in a folder that I have, only objects, I can activate the same wizard from here too. Okay, so that was it. I hope that this was clear, and I hope if you have any questions, you are posting it on the Q&A tab. And with this, I am switching to the next topic. For the rest of the demo, I will be on the administration tab. And in this case, you might see here many tabs. It is because I have all the licenses in this environment and also all access. So again, I am covering at this demonstration only these last 4 tabs, and they are activated because I have first some function privileges that are related to the functionality related to these tabs, as well as the enterprise admin license. So starting from conventions, at this page, I am able to update the method. So you can see here the same exact groups of items, model types, object types, symbols and attributes, and everything else that I have in ARIS Architect. The same information here, type, if it is a default. If I derive a new item, I will have the same information of whatever it is derived, customized, and so on. I might want to add, type number or anything else here in order for me to be able to, filter something or navigate a bit more easier at this content. And as well, if I select one of them, maybe I will go to the first one. You see that as I lift my mouse over, there are some more icons activated. I can edit, rename. Let me go to the edit. I am here. Maybe I will not go to object type. Maybe I go to something like model type. Maybe it's a more usual case. So again, I can derive a model from this model type. This is the first icon. I can edit it or I can rename it. And if I select it, you see that I have the same or some of the tabs here. And of course, to create a new model type if I want. If I go to update it, again, I have the wizard that allows me to, first of all, give some general details or some translation option here. If I want to give some additional names in different languages. Then I have attributes, symbols, connections, information, whatever I want to change the method. In all these wizards, maybe you want to notice this drop-down list because you might not be able to find something. In this case, only types assigned, and this is the icon if something is assigned. And if I show all, you might find that something is not assigned. So with this click here, assign the selected item, it is that I assign this item to this specific model type. And again, in case you would like some more visibility here of items, this is the place to do it. So not into too much detail here. The good thing that it's different in ARIS, on the web, now called ARIS, is that when you, for example, create an attribute, you want to use it for a model, it is not a second step adding this attribute on the model. So I would go to the attribute. I would, let's say, create a new attribute, or the same with edit. Why not? Let me show this. Apply. So at some point, you have to say used in models. So it is one step here. I create a new attribute, and I say that I want this attribute to be available at this model type and anywhere else. The same wizard, the same functionality available everywhere. So keep in mind that if you have selected something, there are more filters here to consider. So I just have to add this, make this attribute, new attribute available at this model type, and then I just have to go and update the filter with, this model type, if this is the case, and this attribute. I will not save. So this is how it works then for all method types, and how we showed how we can, you can update existing content or create new or derive from new content. And this, as you can see already here, there are some user-defined type as a type tag for these items, so and you can filter also this to know, what are the customized items, the default ones, and so on. When it comes to filters, I have to be at the space here. These are the default filters on the environment. I can create a new, and now there is this drop down to specify if I want to generate it from a database or if I want to merge filters. So one tab for the new and another tab for these two cases. And if I am in an existing filter here, you can see that I can edit, delete, rename, duplicate, export. So some hidden maybe icons here, but also available after selection at this level here. And you can also activate reports if this is the case. This is a use case for you. Output filter information is also available at the web. If I go to this one, just a small, again, the look and feel is the same as when I go to update the method. So I can navigate to these tabs. I will ignore this error. I will navigate to these tabs. I have to make sure that I allow or I remove select types. Again, I have to keep in mind that this is a filter. If something doesn't look right, it might be that there is a filtering here and it doesn't show me all the options. And then when it comes to filtering, to filter, I meant to say, in some cases, like the connection types, sorry, it's not here. It is here. I have this option to say that I want to define which symbols I want as well. I can go by symbol. I can I can select here the order actually. And again, it might be that I can select more. I can, let's say, create the connections in a different way. So again, you might want to, check this and see what works better for you. And again, I might select this, and you can see the objects, and I can say that this is the source, this is a target. And if I select something, then something else, it might be provided here if I haven't it. Now again, it's a random example here. Or again, select connections from all available connections between object symbols, select connections used between object types. So again, whatever works for you, you have a bit more options, I would say, here to set up the filter and all the information you want to add. So nothing else, I think, from here. Again, one more tab to show, again, in some cases that you have more options to create the connections, but this is only to help you find the information in an easier way. So apply if you have done any change, and this will update the filter. In this case, I cancel. So this is the way of updating a filter or creating, import, or exporting a filter from this tab as well from the web. Now, I am moving, the same with templates as well. You can, there are no templates, I think, there are. Okay, so there are a few by default. You can create your own template. You can import a template. Again, few more icons if you select one, and some icons here if this works better for you. And as well, you can apply a template or more than one template to specific model types. So you can have in this example, it is the BPMN template that should be only applicable to these specific model types. Again, a functionality available in ARIS Architect too. And for formats, again, you can create some new here or update any existing one. Okay, so this relating to the method and the templates, and then moving to the content type. I appreciate that this is a big topic, so I will show the basic and, just to show you what you can do, and more related to the satellite modeling that I think it's always of a great interest. With the content type, first you can, as I said, make the navigation in the portal or even the modeling a bit more intuitive, but as well, you can also change things in the portal the way they show, for example, hierarchies. There is, of course, things that you can do on the modification set, and there are sometimes the same things that you can do from here, maybe for a different region. So at some point, it is, maybe you have noticed it, that if you start doing things in the content type here, there are some things that you cannot do anymore from the modification set. Pages like items or hierarchies might be locked because the handover now is to this content type, and this is now controlling the website. So if I want to activate only satellite modeling, which I will show what it is, I have this option here. Or if I want to add some new content, not some new content, add a new view, let's say do some other customizations, specific customizations on the portal, like a new hierarchy, again, I have to activate this tab here too. So let's dive in a bit to see what it is all about. So actually, there are 4 main areas related to models, objects, connections, and groups. And obviously, I have here connect items. So I will go to the processes, and maybe I will click, and you will see that when I say processes, this is the identifier. These are the model types included in this item. And as well, the same way that we will be doing in the modification sets, adding attributes and so on. Now, I can also, apart from the details of this item, I can navigate as well on this step. Sorry, it was not this that I wanted to do. I wanted to open it with a click. So I open it and I just click on the name, and I can navigate to the properties of this item. And at this point, I want to leave it like that, and I want to go to open a new tab and show how this relates to the edit mode of a model. So we can create some link. So satellite modeling is something to do only with the edit mode. It looks good, but for the time being, it looks good for view mode as well, but for the time being, it's available only on the edit mode. And now that I am on the edit mode and I activate the details, you see that I have here some groups with some information. On model level, it is more about grouping attributes. In some other cases, it might be some other links, let's say, that I want to consider. And you might notice that if I select an object, obviously the details of this object are getting filtered. And in this case, I have different tabs. At this point, apart from attributes, so this is a group of attributes that I want to include for this object. Again, maybe more attributes here. I also have the option to define some ARIS relationships. So what this will do is that I might want to say that in the model, I want the responsible to be visible in the model, but I also allow relationships as accountable, supportive, consulted, informed, or anything else that I want to add. And I want the rest to be hidden on a diagram of type FAD, functional location diagram, as an example. So instead of letting the users go here, create a new assignment, placing the objects and so on, we can activate this, which is called satellite modeling, and I can say that I am the modeler. I want to add a new role. Again, we have defined what this functionality, what object types should consider, symbol type should consider. So in this case, we allow any of these symbols. So I can select that I want an internal person, and I can, actually, I don't know, sorry. I have to find role. And I will go, for example, to find any role that I have in mind. Here I'm selecting a random occurrence. Let's say I'm going for this one. And I can, so you see that now if I go back, accountable has a sales team now added. The relationship is accountable, or whatever, this is the name of the connection that I want to make here, to show here. And you might have noticed that there is a new FAD created. And if I go to this FAD, I have to say this before. And if I go to the FAD, I should be able to see this role there, which I will do now. Here it is.
Okay, I think your screen is, there is a bug with your screen because we don't see what you are showing.
So you cannot see now. Okay, let me do it another way. Sorry, let me try one thing. Let me go for this. Can you see now one green object and one yellow object?
Yes.
Can you
yeah?
Okay.
I confirm.
Yeah, great. Okay, great. So this is then the FAD and the information that has been automatically created. So in this case, I didn't have to create a diagram, or I didn't have to do one click to create it or open it and then create the new connection. The connection has been automatically created. If any diagram was there already, then this process would update an existing FAD. And any other update that I want to do, it will now update the existing FAD. So all this configuration here that I have, this is the default one. So again, this is a good news. You have something to start with. You don't have to define everything from scratch. Then you can go to remove things that you don't want or update anything. All this information is managed by this content type. The fact that I am allowing here any symbol type, it is because I have allowed it in the content type. I might want to restrict it to only consider roles. It might be that I want to rename one connection not to be responsible, but to appear here in a different way. I might want to rename a tab, of course, or to delete some of them that I don't want, or to create a new, or to do any kind of update I want to do in these tabs. So I'm going back to the model because I remember that this is what I have now open. You see that all the tabs are now in the property page, let's say, of the process. You can see that this is now my connection, my selection. I am on the property group, general status information. I can extend. I can see what it is here. I can come in the edit default properties, and I can do any update I might want to do for this. I don't want to go to too much detail. I just want to make the link of how I can do things. And maybe now that I have shown already the one for the process, I will navigate and I will go to activity. Again, I will click on it. Here it is. All the tabs here, I can as well, I can change the order of them. I can delete them, or I can just go and maybe I will go to that one. I go to that one and I add an attribute, add relationship, or do any changes. So here it is. And of course, I can select any model to be used as an FAT to have all the information in the background. Sorry, sorry, so for this one, it is from, okay, so now I think I guess, sorry, I will go to add a property from here. And I say, for example, that's accountable, the one that I was showing before. I want to update it. Here it is. I want the information to be on the functional location diagram. I might want to change something here. Maybe I remove some of the symbol types that don't apply in my example here for accountable. This list will get maybe filtered, and then again I can select any relationship that I want. I can give it the name I want, the model I want, the information to be saved, the connections, and everything else. So all this configurable, and yeah, then I can create my own scenario and make available what I really need to have for every model type or object type or group. We went too far. Connections as well or groups. One step back to show again that if I have selected the content type, maybe I have done, actually, let me go one step. In hierarchies, I might want to do some changes on the way the information is presented at this level and what kind of content should show at this level and some other configuration. And if I want, apart from the satellite modeling, changes that I will do, active for modeling is a satellite modeling. And if I do anything else, then going back to, sorry, configuration set, you can see here the first content type configuration is in use. So there is a hint here that maybe something different than the expected is under items, read only, and I would expect under hierarchies as well. Yeah. So, yeah. Some new things maybe to consider here for some use cases you might have. This is very nice and intuitive, I think. Okay, so I think with this we have covered everything related to the conventions. And again, I hope that you are posting your questions on the Q&A. I'm moving on to the databases, and here again, the same license and some function privileges for all these tabs here. I see that I can select, these are all databases available on the server. It is not necessarily what I have selected to make available to the users. Okay, it is only the depository, let's say, of the databases. I can select one and I can duplicate, delete, rename. And actually, before I go to this, as well by selecting, you see that the same tabs are activated, or some of them at this point here. Maybe reorganize is an interesting one. Again, I take the wizard. Maybe now it has some additional information than the one that we know from ARIS Architect. And again, if I have any questions, I can just click on this icon here, and I have some guidance of what what is this all about, and if I want to use it. Actually, let me reorganize, because I want to, again, I expect, here it is, show results, and I can download them from this link. Okay, so one tab for properties, I can I select languages available for the database, font formats. I can navigate to the change lists, and I can see here some information. I can assign access privileges to users. Let's have a look. So I can say, maybe I want to say that on processes, now in this case, I have only one user group. And here you see users and user groups. These two tabs, but ideally I do everything from the user group, and I select the one I want. And then I can click on the assigned. I can select what I want them to be able to do. And I can also apply to subgroups. This is pass-on privileges as it would read in ARIS Architect. And here then I have the indication of what happens. So the same, let's say, concept from ARIS Architect. And then variant management, again, it is some configuration if I want to activate it, and if I want to activate it from ARIS as of ARIS Connect. Function privileges, again, the ones that we give on database level. I can select a group, and then I have the list that I can give specific access to the users. Again, here it was a tick away, so make sure that you are doing the right thing. Statistics, I find it very good. Now it comes as, like a graph. I have here few items that are getting, the statistics are based on, but I can also extend to whatever else I would like. Let's say attributes. And here you will see an additional item in this list, and as well a different diagram. Again, the diagram, I can select how it looks better for me. So a few more options there, and I can navigate to this content. I can also download the data in this, in some available formats available in this list. So this is about the statistics of the database, and method filter, again, what I want to make available for the users, or for the user groups, even better, as we said. And to what, yes, methods, I want the users to have access and use when they access the database. Okay, so this related to the properties, and if I go to the defaults, this is where I would be setting the default filter, quite straightforward, default languages, font format, and default palettes. So all of this available at this tab, but also you might notice it is exactly the same list at these three dots here that is getting available by click. Okay, of course here if I want to filter, and as well a summary of reorganization results here. So I think that was it about the databases. And now we are moving on to the evaluations. Okay, so at this tab, I have available all reports, macros, and all the evaluations tab that I had in ARIS Architect. I can navigate the same way, the same concept here. I can just click on it, and I can navigate to the code now. And if I click on this icon, I will be navigate to the script editor, and I will do it in seconds. Or I can navigate to the properties. This is existing functionality. It's not related to service list 26. The script editor is only available, it's coming in 26. So these are the properties that I can come and I can update related to, obviously, some information related to the report and some functionality expected, the context, and so on. So some updates, it might be that I can do from here. Again, some updates that would make sense and don't break anything in when the report is running. So I have access to them, duplicate, export, import, all, and as well to manage access rights on each of them. So again, the same way I would be doing from ARIS Architect, the same for macros, and the same for semantic checks. So I can go to the profiles. Maybe I can go to create a new profile. Actually, I don't know if I could save it, but anyway, I have to give some information. I have to give some context. And then I have to select the rules. Let me see if it gets any quicker. So I would expect here the list of rules that I can apply. And also, apart from the list of rules available, you have also here it is, the list of rules, and also this information under which rule type they are. And of course, I can also filter from here and say, for example, that I want only model attribute rules. Here they are. I can come and select the one I want. This is maybe the second step. The first step, it might be that I want to edit the rules. So if I come on here, again, I can edit them. I can select this. The window opens, and I can go and add new attributes, delete. It's a bit straightforward. All the icons are here, and I can customize them or create new. So I think it is time to move to the script editor. I haven't forgotten anything. Obviously, you can create as well, create a new category when it comes to reports, whatever you were able to do in Architect, and also a new tab here, or again, new in terms of version. It's not only 26, but again, here you can have a list of the scheduled jobs that are available on the server. So moving on the script editor. Two ways. I have this open. Two ways to open a report. One is to open it from here, from the script editor. And the other one is from the evaluations, this icon that I showed before. If in the evaluation I find the report, I click on this link, I am here, and the report is already open. Or else I can open it from, and you can see here that I can open different things, even semantic check profiles, and rules as well. So if I open the report, I will go for that one. And OK. And here it is. So I have my workspace. It might be that I navigate back and I want, so now I will show you one more example because I want to show you how it will look like when I have more than 2 reports open. It didn't work. Okay. Here it is. So if I have more than reports open, I have a list of them here, and I can navigate from one to the other. I can select this drop-down list, and I can see some additional information. In this case, there's a common file associated to this report. And in some cases, now maybe not this one, let's try. I am also able to update this file. And also I can add new connections, let's say new files to this report. So add new file, I can select another common file or a different report associated to this one. Or if I have done all my changes and I have saved my report, I can just remove it, closing the tab. Okay, removing this from my workspace. So the report opens, you see that it is the same, some, not the same maybe, but some color coding here that makes it a bit easy to read. Maybe you have noticed these 3 tabs already. File, again, you can open something from here, another option. And again, from here, to create a new or to open an existing. The properties of this report, in case you would like to edit them, context, functionality, advanced properties, and so on. And then save and export and, this, what is this, save all, reload, and so on. Zoom in, zoom out, resize, and this kind of standard functionality there. Edit, again, a few things here. When you start doing, more or less, now again, I don't want to go to too much detail, but it is what you would expect to see when you open the editor to create the report. Again, sorry, not again, as view of the report that you can navigate. And in some cases, it's useful because you might want to, you have some toggle here while you are debugging it. And you, again, there are some color coding here that you can track and navigate easily to the content. If I leave the mouse over, I take some additional information on things and on errors as well, that they should be marked with a red, this kind of, the icon, not the icon, this curly red line that we take with typos. So again, you have an indication about errors in spelling, or again, if I would have forgotten one, I cannot edit this. If I have forgotten something here, again, there are some color coding you see here, some errors that I can navigate and see what the problem is. So this is pretty useful. And of course, the debug area that I can start debugging the report and so on. Variables, if I want to start debugging and I want to, watch things and monitor things and, debug it properly, here they are. As well, a string table. You might, I know that there is another session later on about service list 26. There is some functionality here in case I want to create quickly one identifier here. I just have to find it. I think it is under edit, should be under edit, so that I can easily add it to the table. Sorry, it might be that I have to remind myself how I do this, or else if I am here, I can say that I can remove from this table and replace it with my additional, initial value. So there are some functionality that would make, let's say, the coding easier. Again, I think this would be a good level of detail, not to go too much, but yes, I think this is an exciting functionality. You see that this is on edit mode. I have done something, and again, I might have to save it to take this tick. In any case, if it is something not saved, when I go to close it, again, I will take this message that you have to save something, and I just have to click yes and save it before I close it. Okay, I think then that was it from my end.